Ladies and gentlemen, if you watched a Match Game, the very popular TV show of the 1970s, two things really stood out. The fact they had to hide Charles Nelson Reilly's gayness from the audience, worried about how the people would react, and the most important female contestant on the show, or what I call participant, was Canadian. He was from the Miramichi region. Now today we're going to be talking about the great talent that everybody loved in Canada and not knowing she was Canadian, Brett Somers. Now Brett Somers, born Audrey Dawn Johnson on July 11, 1924, was a Canadian-American game show personality, actress, and singer. Brett was best known again as one of the top panelists on the 70s game show Match Game, and for a recurring role as Blanche Madison opposite her real-life husband, the great Jack Klugman, on the award-winning Odd Couple. Now, again, born Audrey Dawn Johnston in Holcomb, which is near Miramichi, that's the Silicers area of the Miramichi region. She grew up near Portland, Maine. At age 18, she moved to New York City to pursue a career in acting, settling in Greenwich Village. Her chosen first name, Brett, came from the lead female character in Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises. Her chosen last name, Somers, was her mother's maiden name. Now, after settling in New York, she married businessman Robert H. Klein in 1948. The marriage produced one child, Leslie, who died of lung cancer in 2003 and ended in divorce. She married actor Jack Klugman in 1953, and they had two sons, David and Adam. It was long reported that Somers and Klugman separated in 1974, but remained legally married until her death. This mistaken belief was furthered by the fact that Klugman waited until after Somers died to marry his second wife. However, California court records indicate the couple actually divorced in August of 1977, and Somers eventually became a U.S. citizen late in life. Now, a member of the Actors Studio from 1952, she began her career in theater and made many of her initial television appearances in dramatic programs such as the Philco Television Playhouse, Kraft Television Theater, Playhouse 90, and Robert Montgomery Presents. Her Broadway debut was in the play Maybe Tuesday. The show, unfortunately, was a flop and closed after just 5 performances. She also appeared on stage in productions of Happy Ending, The 7-Year Itch, and The Country Girl, the last opposite Klugman. She was also amassed a number of film credits, including A Rage to Live and Bus Riley's Back in Town. Now, Somers made many appearances on episodic primetime television, including Love American Style, The Defenders, Have Gun Will Travel, Ben Casey, Chips, The Love Boat, Barney Miller, and The Fugitive. In 1973, she played Rhoda Morgenstern's Aunt Rose in a season 4 episode, Rhoda's Sister Gets Married, on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Now, she had a recurring role as Blanche, the former wife of Oscar, played by real-life spouse Jack Klugman, on the ABC sitcom The Odd Couple in the early 1970s. In 1973, she played Perry Mason's receptionist Gertie in The New Perry Mason, a short-lived revival of a classic TV series with the great Monty Markham as Perry Mason. She played the role of Cyrus Bellaboy in the 1978 science fiction series Battlestar Galactica. Now, Somers again became a superstar on TV for her appearances as a panelist in the 70s CBS game show Match Game for her rapid wit and her famous comment, "Well, I said." Now, for her debut episode, she sat in a lower left panel position, but for the remainder of her tenure, she occupied the center seat of the upper tier, most often next to the very, very talented and humorous Charles Nelson Reilly, who joined as a regular around the same time as Brett and settled into the top right seat. She was clearly left-handed. She was always seen writing her answers with her left hand. Now, the show became known for somewhat outlandish and risque dialogue and answers, something being described as a game played at a cocktail party. Somers was a familiar on-screen presence, wearing enormous eyeglasses and various wigs. She played foil to Charles Nelson Reilly, Betty White, Scoey Mitchell, Fanny Flagg, and many others. And I'm not going to mention Joyce Bulifant. Now, Somers was sometimes the subject of questions on Match Game, such as, "You may or not believe in reincarnation, but listen to this. In a previous life, Brett used to be a blank." Fill in your answer. Now, Somers was not originally considered for the celebrity panel, but when spouse Jack Klugman appeared during the first week of the show in 1973, he insisted that the producers bring her aboard. She remained a regular panelist for the rest of the show's 9-year network and syndicated run. Her appearances on Match Game led radio personality Robin Quivers to impersonate her in parodies of such game shows as The Howard Stern Show. Now, Quivers' impersonation of Somers was featured in the film Private Parts. Now, In 2002, she appeared with Charles Nelson Riley and Betty White via video link as part of a Match Game reunion on CBS program, The Early Show. She appeared with Charles Nelson Riley on Hollywood Squares during that show's game show week in the same year. She also appeared in a cabaret show, An Evening with Brett Somers, in 2003-2004. In 2004, she appeared on the PBS concert special Magic Moments, The Best of 50s Pop. In the 2-minute segment hosted by Wink Martindale, Somers was a member of a full quiz show panel with Dr. Joyce Rogers and Rip Taylor. In 2006, she was a prominent interviewee in the Real Match Game Story, Behind the Blank on GSN, and hosted a Match Game DVD as well. Pick it up, you can find it. It's quite a story. Now, during a 2002 interview, Somers denied rumors that she had cancer, but she reiterated in later interviews. Somers had a naturally husky voice that may have caused a misconception that she suffered from a throat ailment. However, she was diagnosed with cancer in 2004. Following a period of remission, she died on September 15, 2007, at her home in Westport, Connecticut, at the age of 83. Her younger son, Adam, gave the cause of death as stomach and colon cancer. Now, if you grew up in the 1970s, Richard Dawson, Brett Somers, Charles Nelson Riley, Gene Rayburn, Bob Barker, Betty White, Alan Lennon, Dick Clark, on and on and on. These talk show and game show hosts were our friends. Jim Perry as well, Monty Hall. Now, what I liked about Brett Somers, she had that Canadian kind of swagger about her, and best be described as she was so smart. She could insult somebody not only to their face, but behind her back, and you wouldn't catch on. But there were certain people on the show she really didn't despise. Now, you're probably wondering why by Thursday or Friday of a given week it was a little bit more ribald. It's because allegedly they would tape 5 episodes a day or 10 episodes a day and drink more in the afternoon session. So, but I miss Richard Dawson, I miss Brett, Charles Nelson Riley. What a trio of comedians. But Richard Dawson doing his Paul Lynde, and Brett Somers basically, even the way she presented the card, like with 2 fingers, and it was a stupid answer. She would probably say I didn't understand the question, but my comic style that I deal with people, I think about Brett Somers because she was smarter than anybody else on the show, but she didn't dumb herself down for it, so pretty cool. So ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing here with our entertainment podcast, let us know with a like, comment, or subscribe. And yes, Brett Somers should have some type of recognition from the city of Miramichi that yes, she is a native New Brunswicker and a native Canadian. I'm very proud to say we share the same country's birth, and that's really cool. Thanks for listening. Bye.